Happy July the 4th to you. I want to welcome everybody to the Daily Reader podcast, where we read from a daily reader or a devotional, and we discuss and use tools and principles, including but not limited to prayer, meditation, and breath work to help us to learn to stay more present and to live better lives. Appreciate y'all being here, especially on this holiday. I actually do these whether it's a holiday or not. I'll be doing these. So literally 365 days a year. I think we could always use self-care and encouragement 365 days a year. I don't care what day it is. And a lot of the 12-step meetings that I've been involved with, the groups, meet on holidays as well. So some do, some don't, but most do. Yeah, so it's good to have a place. Sometimes the holidays sometimes the holidays can get lonely for a lot of people. Not for me. I'm blessed to have a lot of family and friends, but some people don't, and they want to have somewhere to go. So that's why the rooms of the 12-step rooms, most of them are open on the holidays. So if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to this channel for future updates and podcasts. And you can check the most recent YouTube post for the scheduled podcast. Right now it's Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday through Friday, y'all. I think I got it almost memorized now. So Tuesday through Fridays, we meet on here at 7 a.m. Eastern, and Saturday through Mondays, it's 10 a.m. Eastern time. Without further ado, y'all, we're gonna go and get started this morning. So go ahead and get to a stopping point, with whatever you're doing, so you can get somewhere and find somewhere comfortable where you can relax for a few minutes this morning. Excited. I'm actually going to be working half the day today, and the rest of the evening, looking forward to getting together with a couple friends. We're going to go to a church and see a fireworks show and probably get a little something to eat. I think they got a ducking booth up there too, so might try to do that as well. Oh, excuse me. A little sore this morning, y'all, from FedEx the last couple days. I can tell you right now, it's not something I would do full time. I don't think. I was thinking I'd give them maybe 2 or 3 days a week. That's probably about it. Definitely take a toll on the body. It's good for us too, though. Some of it's good for us, but too much, can definitely take a toll on the body. So whenever you're ready, if you're comfortable, in a safe place, you can go ahead and close your eyes. And just take some breaths this morning. Just relax and breathe in your nose and out your mouth. The purpose of this is, like I mentioned earlier, to get more present in our lives, to live in the moment as well, or the now. In the past, I would worry about the future a lot, or I'd live in the past, and thank God I don't do that much anymore. So the more you do this, the more it'll allow you to get more present in your life, where you can actually live in reality and live moment to moment and not have to worry about the future, right? Not worrying about the future and just trusting that everything will work out and excuse me, taking it day by day. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not a fortune teller, so I can't really tell the future. So there's no point really worrying about the future, right? It'll unfold the way it unfolds. I'm not saying don't plan, don't prepare. I personally have a savings account. I have a retirement account. I think that's okay. I'm also a prepper. I have about 3 months of food and water that I keep on hand as well. But I don't go around worrying about it. There's a difference in preparation, maybe preparing for some things in the future, or worrying about them. I don't sit there and actively worry or fear the future. Yeah, it's not supportive for me to do that. Continue breathing. Breathe in your nose, out your mouth. And as far as the intention goes, you can just put the intention on freedom that we have in our country. Since we celebrate Independence Day. Today, if you're here in the United States. We have a lot of freedom, but we also don't have a lot of freedom in this country too. I'm going to say it's a little bit of both. Depending on how you look at it and what you refer to. So I just focus on myself, doing the best I can, bringing it back to myself, and then from there helping others, filling myself up first. That's why we do this, y'all, filling ourselves up so we can be of good service to other people that are around us in our lives, come across. So I'm just grateful and appreciative for the freedom that we do have. Focus on that. Really to do what we want when we want to do it. Okay, y'all, we're going to do one more breath. This time, as usual, we're going to take it in as deep as we can, and then on the exhale, blow it out audibly, releasing any other tension that you might be holding on to in the body. And after that, we'll do the full serenity prayer today. Take it in and out. Okay, and prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking as he did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it. Trusting that if I surrender to his will, that he will make all things right so that I may live reasonably happy in this lifetime and forever happy with him, forever and ever in the next. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. That was all off of memory, y'all, so if I missed something on that prayer, I apologize. I'm trying to get it fully memorized. And I'm just about there, getting there. So, check my live chat here. Y'all checking in this morning. Y'all are welcome to comment, leave your comments, questions, or suggestions. I'm always open to that. So, this YouTube channel is yours as much as it is mine, so you can help it with whatever you want to help it with. I'd really appreciate that, and it also help other people as well. So always feel free to add any value that you want to add as well. Okay, here we go, y'all. And then July the 4th. Okay, some recently asked me to speak on my recovery in the arena of intimacy and sexuality. The addiction in my family has impacted every area of my life, and my sexuality and enjoyment of intimacy are no exception. I fear intimacy as much as I crave it. I enjoy it for a while, but then I start feeling like I'm losing myself in the other person. I have some damaging perceptions about my body and its imperfections. Because my affection was not easily expressed in my family, I often question my spontaneous inner urges to give someone a fond hug or kiss. I didn't think my higher power wanted me to work on my character defects in the area of sexuality. However, I became aware that God already had been healing me in this area quietly, gently, with great compassion and much love. Although I didn't realize it at first, this healing started when my sponsor suggested I take an inventory of my sexuality, sensuality, intimacy, passion, affection, self-expression, and desire. I followed my sponsor's suggestion, and it proved to be a journey of surprises and discoveries. First, I learned to recognize, accept, and trust, and enjoy my instincts and expressions. Then I learned how to set guidelines for myself and others regarding acceptable and unacceptable sexual behavior. Now I'm working on differentiating my physical sexuality from my mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual sensuality and passions. I now celebrate the gift of my body, senses, and soul in intimate and sacred relationships with God, myself, my spouse, and others in my life. Bet y'all didn't think we was going to jump into the topic of sex and Al-Anon, did you? Thought for the day. Intimacy, sensuality, and passion are not limited to physical expression. That was what I learned, that sex is only a part of intimacy. That intimacy encompasses caring, sharing, laughing, crying, and praying together, touching and hugging, giving and taking. Sexual intimacy from the book. That's from the book Sexual Intimacy and the Alcoholic Relationship, page 40. Yeah, it's interesting, y'all. Al-Anon is really, any 12-step program, y'all, really is. It's really a good life living program, like a tool. It provides tools, like I mentioned before, tools and principles to help us live better lives. Part of the introduction. And it really is, y'all. If you really get into any kind of 12-step, I would encourage anybody out there, if you've never done the 12 steps, to do it. I mean, there's Christian 12-step based, there's non-Christian, there's agnostic, there's all kinds of different ones, depending on which one floats your boat, depending on which one you're most called to. So, yeah. Hope y'all got something good out of that. Me personally, that's a little bit of a sexuality thing. It's kind of been a little bit of a struggle for me along the way. Even when I grew up with an alcoholic stepdad, and shared a little bit on this myself from my experience. But yeah, I actually hit around the time I hit puberty is when I, and I'll give you a disclaimer real quick. If you got some young kids or anybody that might be listening to this, you may want to pause it, come back and finish it later. I'm not going to use any curse words or anything like that. I guess so-called curse words. But I am going to get into a little bit of personal stuff here. But about sex and things like that. So my experience with it has been when I hit puberty is when I lived in that abusive environment that I lived in, and it was pretty dang challenging. Like, it really was, and like a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of worry, and just in general, it just wasn't a healthy environment. You be living in that. So I ended up turning to masturbation. Sex, porn, and masturbation really for me to be able to help cope with all that stuff. You know, when I was growing up, I was growing up in that kind of environment. It was really challenging, y'all, right? So, I mean, some people turn to drugs and alcohol, right? A lot of people turn to drugs and alcohol and different things like that, but no, not me. I chose to get my relief from my own body, which, hey, really is a unlimited. Not I'd say unlimited. Can be kind of unlimited. At least the fantasy stuff and looking at pornography and things like that. I can only masturbate a certain amount of times, though, right? And I used to masturbate, I don't know, at least every single day, at least once a day. And there's a lot of research that shows masturbation is healthy, but I think too much of a good thing, depending on what it is, can be a bad thing. So for me, it ended up becoming an addiction. Talking about an addiction here in our families here. That's kind of what happened with me. So just to kind of give you all a little bit about my personal journey and background. So I've got to a point now where literally I usually only do any kind of masturbation or sexual stuff maybe like once a month, sometimes twice. And I don't know, y'all, like I tend to feel better. I think doing it less often than I did all the time, it just blew my energy out. Like I would lose energy, and I did figure out a little bit of a hack around that, though. Actually, zinc. Each time one orgasms, you lose about 10 milligrams of zinc. So I replenish that with zinc when I do, right? And I find my energy comes back a lot faster. Don't lose it quite as much. So. Not saying as an excuse to continue any kind of behavior like that I did in the past too much, right? Just to cope with reality, because I don't do that much anymore, y'all, right? It's very minimal that I escape into fantasy in my head or I escape into the pornography world. So if that's something you're struggling with, definitely feel free to reach out to me if you want to talk or want some support around it. There's also plenty of 12-step groups out there uh, that I'm sure can help you as well. So there's Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. There's Sex Addicts Anonymous, Sexaholic Anonymous as well as compulsive. I think it's called CSA, Compulsive Sex Anonymous, Compulsive Sexual Behavior Anonymous, something like that. So anyway, y'all, trust y'all got some good value out of that today. Being vulnerable, we all kind of sharing a little bit about my past journey, living in trauma as well. And yeah, I think personally, like if I would have got into drugs or alcohol, I'd be dead by now, y'all. Because I indulged, I don't know how much over the years in pornography and certain sexual behaviors. And thank God, thank the Lord that I actually didn't pick up drugs or alcohol and didn't get addicted to drugs or alcohol. Because I know without a doubt that I'd be dead by now. So y'all take care. God bless. Have a great 4th. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with my friends tonight. Hope y'all got some planning to do something, enjoy some time with your friends or family, or fireworks, shoot fireworks. I do have an awareness now too. The fireworks does really scare a lot of the animals out there in nature. It's also like just people's pets and animals. So I really don't know where to go with that yet. I shot fireworks last year, but it was at a friend of mine's house out in the middle of nowhere. So I mean, obviously there was a bunch of nature animals, but not really pets and people's animals and stuff as much. But definitely noticing how my behavior affects those around me, right? So don't really shoot every year anymore. I think partly because of that. Scaring animals and traumatizing animals, things like that. It's just not really for me, not really a good thing. So, but we are going to go see some at least. We're going to go see some later on today. So, y'all take care. God bless. Look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow morning. For those of y'all that can be here, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And as always, y'all, peace and love. God bless.